Hello, 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 and welcome back to the 21st episode of the News Just News weekly roundup. As always, I am joined by the lovely Anna Ferraz.
Hi
Hello.
guys.
And the incredible Lucia. Hello.
Hello.
As always, we talk about everything on here. We're going to have some space news today. We're going to have some entertainment, some music news, and you can find all of that on and more at newsjustnews.com. So I think let's start it off with a bit of, it's been everywhere. I don't know about you guys, if you've seen the photo of the Earth. It's so cool. We're in our space age again. The Artemis II rocket. It launched on the 1st of April and it went all the way to the moon. That's the furthest that humans have ever gone before. So it's amazing to see all of this technological progress. The mission statement for it is to test for the instruments and the equipment and also the human body, because they want to colonize the moon. Like, this is all in preparation of the moon landing part 2 and for eventual the moon colonization. And so it's a 10-day mission. They are coming back tomorrow, so hopefully they'll come back safe and sound. But this is a crazy time to be in. I don't know if any of you guys watched the launch, because I certainly did. It was streamed live, and then I don't know if you've seen the picture. Have either of you seen the new picture that they posted, that NASA posted?
Beautiful. Yeah. It's been really interesting to see behind the scenes what's happening with the astronauts. There was a recent video done showing how they exercise and the interviews as well, when you see the microphone just kind of going everywhere. It's really awesome, and I agree with you, Adam. It's such an exciting time to be living in.
Lucia, would you go to the moon?
I don't think I would actually. I don't know. It feels like you need a lot of physical preparation to do that sort of like experience and adventure. And obviously, it's something that just the amount of people that actually did that, you can literally count on the fingers on your hand. So it's like a very exclusive experience. But at the same time, I feel like you would have to prepare a lot physically and mentally. And yeah, I actually, on the topic, I saw it was like a survey the other day, and they asked people in the UK if they would do it, and like 55% of people just went, no, I couldn't be bothered. That is the perfect explanation. But yeah, I agree with you guys. It was amazing, even though I probably wouldn't do it. It was amazing to see people to actually do it. And I saw the interview that you were talking about, Anna, and there was a bit in which they were showing people how they eat as well. And I think it's really interesting because it's one of those things that, because it's such a limited experience, loads of people wonder about different aspects of what it means to be in space. And it was just very funny. There was like this picture of this little video of like a jar of Nutella just like fluctuating around and them trying to have breakfast, and it was really nice.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I don't think I could do the actual astronaut, everything. The fit, you need to be peak fitness and also a literal rocket scientist. So I don't think I'm quite there anytime soon. But I do what Katy Perry did, the space flight where you get feeling weightlessness. I think I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would give me a euphoric feeling. And speaking of, we were speaking about this last time, I think, because it was just coming out, but the reviews are out and it's not looking good for Euphoria, is it, Anna?
It's not looking good, guys. Yeah, and I mean, I was kind of expecting this, especially considering the time jump that happens. And yeah, let me just say, there's been mixed reviews. A lot of people are finding it really interesting, but I mean, this is all from critics who have had access to watch the early on. I think it was the first 3 episodes. So the reviews are mixed. They're leaning slightly negative. So a lot of, like, on the good side, a lot of them say that the show looks incredible. It's very cinematic, very aesthetic, and most critics are also saying Zendaya carries it. She continues to deliver this very powerful performance as Rue, and I definitely don't. I cannot disagree with that. Meanwhile, others are saying this is the worst, acting job she's done in the past 5 years. Anyways, beyond that, a lot of people do feel that the story is a bit all over the place this season. So there's a lot of plot lines that feel quite messy or disconnected. And I mean, that does make sense. We've got, people getting married. We've got someone as an OnlyFans star. I mean, I'm not going to get into the details of it, but there's also apparently a notable shift in tone. So the show, it does dive into those darker, more extreme themes. But some critics are saying they think it relies too much on shock value rather than meaningful storytelling that we saw definitely in season 1 when it comes to drug addiction and repression and all that. So overall, the general feeling is that, it's still visually striking and well acted, which I'm really excited for, but it doesn't quite hit that same emotional depth that made those earlier seasons so impactful. But I must say I'm excited to watch it. There was one review that we were talking about before this when it said that the season feels like Looney Tunes meets Breaking Bad. So some people would see that as negative. I'm like, sign me up. I'm excited, and I do think it will be a bit of a disappointment compared to the first 2 seasons. But you know what? It's the final season. I don't know how else they're going to wrap this up. There's a lot of plot lines, so time will tell.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the time jump, it's I was reading the BBC review, and I think that sort of is the crux of it, where it's when it was the teenagers, it was edgy and that worked. Whereas now that they're adults, it's sort of lost its way. I do think the same about when Pretty Little Liars did the time jump. Obviously, Little Liars was absolutely bonkers anyway, but it sort of worked because they were teenagers. And then when they became adults, it just, if all of these silly, vaguely adult themes are going on, it just doesn't work when they're adults, because just ring the police or something, there are better ways. Like, if you're going to react to it in a childish way, it works when they're children.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, are you surprised at all by this, Lucia?
I think it's quite a daring thing to do such a big jump for the final season, actually. Like, I think maybe it would have had more sense if they were planning to do a season 4, and then in that case it would have been 2 seasons in high school and 2 seasons in like the adult world, and then they would have had a little bit more time to explore those storylines. Right now it just feels like they didn't know what to do with the like teenage years anymore, so they just decided to just like push it forward, also because so much time has passed in the meantime, so the actresses and the actors also, like, they're not really believable as teenagers anymore, most of them. So I think it's a bit daring, but I am curious to see it as well. Like, last time I was saying I didn't watch season 2 yet, but I kind of know what happens anyway, because it's such a popular show that even if you don't want to see it, you would have seen it anyway. So I kind of know what happens, and I'm curious to see what happens in season 3, because some of the storylines are quite interesting. I was always kind of like interested in the whole triangle with Maddie and Nate, and I can't remember Sydney Sweeney's character's name, but what was it? I can't remember. But
Yes.
the whole, there you go. So the whole storyline with that, and then Jules' storyline. I feel like there's a lot of interesting things that they could be doing, and I'm hoping that they nail at least some of it.
Yeah, definitely. And for everyone at home watching, you can go and see on our News Just News YouTube channel. We had our predictions last week, and I feel like they did kind of match up. And you can see all the articles that we have on Euphoria as well at newsjustnews.com. And yeah, from Euphoria, we've got a bit of news about another show, don't we? So, The Boys, Lucia, what has it just come out? Is that the third season? Tell us about that.
Yes, it's season 5, and they have released the first 2 episodes just yesterday, literally. I'm a big fan, so I've watched all of the previous seasons, and when it came out yesterday, I've just, got on Amazon Prime and watched the first 2 episodes. There's a lot at stake because the storyline came to be, all of the different storylines are now coming towards the end. This is the last season, and we obviously can base a little bit of our expectations on the graphic novel from which the show, is an adaptation of. But at the same time, they have changed quite a few things. So people are predicting that the ending might not be the same as the graphic novel, which is, that ending is quite tragic. So people are hoping that it's not exactly the same. But there is a lot at stake. We have all of the big characters coming up. And there's also a big return, which I don't think it's a big spoiler considering we've seen it in the trailer as well. We have Jensen Ackles again returning as Soldier Boy, and apparently he also brought with him other people that he used to be working with in the past. So in this season, there's also going to be Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins, who were both with him in Supernatural for like 300 years. So they will be coming back. I mean, they will be, appearing in the season, even though we don't know what their roles are at the moment. I think the first 2 episodes were quite entertaining. They were both long, about an hour, but it really flew by. They were really, really interesting. I like where the plot is going, and I'm really curious to see where it will wrap up. Obviously, it gets more and more violent as we go along. It gets more and more, shocking. It's always something that has, been a big feature of The Boys. It's quite a striking and shocking show because it's a kind of like a misrepresentation of how a superhero should be, and it's a very messed up world. So it's really interesting to see how it's going to go. But I will be watching the rest of the episodes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, all of the clips that I've seen of The Boys it's just the most crazy, gory scenes that you can see. And for that, I don't know. I have not seen one. Anna, is this your kind of thing, or are you a bit put off by the gore, to be honest?
I wouldn't say, I'm not a big fan of superhero movies. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. And series and stuff like that. Obviously, I love the classics, but I will say I do want to watch this because it, again, Lucia, you said the word shocking. And from what I've seen, it looks very shocking. And I'm very interested to see the depiction of all the characters, because as you were saying, Adam, from the clips that I'm sure we've both seen, it looks quite bizarre, and that intrigues me. So I think I will be watching it. I think, Lucia, you've convinced me, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that this weekend.
Yeah, we'll have to look out for more articles on this as well coming on News Just News. I'm sure maybe next week we'll be discussing the reviews of it, and hopefully it'll fare a bit better than Euphoria. But anyway, on things, I mean, not coming out, but that have actually been taken away. There are reports that Ariana Grande's Sweetener album on Spotify, there are some songs missing, and even when people search them on Spotify, they're gone. And I think there's a big conversation on X about digital versus physical media, because when you have these subscriptions, you're buying like a license to temporarily use them, but they are not yours. So artists can and have actually just taken away these songs. I know the one that I've brought up before is about Lady Gaga. She did a collaboration with R. Kelly, and the song was "You Do What You Want with My Body." So she took that away, and she actually changed it, so retroactively changed it to just be a solo of her. But then, yeah, again, I do think it does bring up a lot of things about owning things digitally and, you know, the power of artists. I mean, Lucia, what do you think? Have you ever experienced this where an artist has sort of retroactively changed an album that you digitally had? And, you know, what do you think about that?
I haven't, but it is a good point what you were saying just about now about, you know, owning music and basically just having stuff for yourself. And I think it's like something that kind of always scared me a little bit. My collection of music is not huge, although I listen to a lot of music. I have quite a few vinyls, but I don't have as many as I would like to have. And it's always something that, yeah, we're kind of like at risk of losing, because obviously the moment you stop paying a subscription, obviously you can still listen to music, but you are destined to lose your mind over ads. And that's something that unfortunately you cannot escape. Like I've tried not having a Spotify subscription for like 2 months, and I just stopped listening to music because it was just unbearable. And so it kind of like forces you to do it. And then at the same time, as you said, like you are paying, but you don't really have the music. So if, you know, at some point there's some kind of issue with the app or anything like that, everything is just like lost. And I feel that is kind of like a huge problem, not only with music, but also with just like TV shows and films. Sometimes they get taken off the platforms where they used to be, like on Amazon or Netflix or anything like that. And they cannot be seen anywhere else unless you've got like a DVD copy or a Blu-ray or anything. You just cannot access that media anymore. And I think it's terrible. It's like literally the death of artistry, and you can't really, like solve that issue in any other way apart from like owning the media, obviously.
Yeah, this definitely, it affects so many things. Like Anna, I mean, it's affected all of us. This, you know, has there been something that you've loved that has gone? I mean, for me, I would say maybe not artistry, but Club Penguin, Rip Club Penguin, Moshi Monsters, all of those like Flash games. You know, it's in a different vein to music, but yeah, like Anna, is this? I mean, it has happened to you, but you know, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't thought about it that way, in terms of, you know, you subscribe to this platform, but that doesn't mean you own the songs or the movie or the series, and it can just disappear at any moment or change. It reminds me a lot of Taylor Swift, where she reclaimed her albums and re-recorded most of them into Taylor's version. And although she kept the old ones that were under her old, ownership, there was differences in the new songs that people didn't really like, but there was a pressure you had to listen to those, not the other ones, because no, bad or bad. But the Ariana Grande thing interests me. I'm not too sure what the reason is behind that. What instantly went to my head was I saw on her Instagram recently that she was in a recording studio. So people are suspecting possibly a new album. Is this maybe a glitch that's happened with these songs going off, or is it a PR stunt, or is she just genuinely taking songs off the Sweeney album? I don't know, but it definitely does. It puzzles me. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it is a bit scary, like you said, Lucia.
Yeah, I think there is no official confirmation whether it was her or if it was just a glitch, or you know, if she's some album thing, because I think she has been teasing a lot about the 8th album, but then, you know, why would it just be a few songs? It's random. But yeah, well, I think that's it for today, guys. Maybe next week we'll see. But yes, thank you all for watching. You can find all of our articles on everything. We have spoken about so many things today. You can find all of that and more at newsjustuse.com. Thanks for watching, and thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.